And now, from the Cave of Wonders, live in the presence of gods, welcome to the Rain Man Show.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the Rain Man Show. You're listening to us on RM Channel 001 on the Rain Man digital app. Also available on TuneIn. TuneIn Radio, just search RM Channel 001. You can take this show anywhere you want to go. Man, I am very loud.
Sounded good to me, but maybe it just means I'm going deaf.
I jacked up my headphones because everything's a mess because of when we went to Phoenix Comic-Con 2 weeks ago now.
Right.
I had to take a lot of my equipment from here. Not the equipment, but like the wiring. A lot of cabling. So then I find myself knocking volume knobs by accident.
Oh, yeah.
You just nudge the volume knob just a bit, everything messes up.
Right.
And my ears are I'm already deaf as it is because of the fact of doing radio for 6 years now.
Right.
That it's very hard for me to hear, so then I have to constantly play with the knob, and I can't get it right. I'm always fiddling with the knob.
You're always fiddling with the knob?
I'm always fiddling with the knob. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit. Yeah. So I'm all amped up today. A lot of things have been going on in the world. Lots of things, and we've been away.
I know.
I find that all the major world events seem to happen every time we go on break.
So does that mean we should never go on break because then nothing will change, or that we should just always take breaks because then things happen?
The show is directly connected to the fate of mankind.
Right. I think that's the point.
All hell breaks loose. So I think if we never go on break, I think we can keep the floodgates of hell at bay.
So we have to keep on going even after the apocalypse.
Yeah, no matter what.
All right.
No matter what. No matter what.
All right.
So a lot of things are going on. I'm going to try to get through it today. I don't really know. We're going to keep this specific show to about an hour today.
Okay.
We're going to be changing a few things up. I know. We're trying to accommodate our terrestrial format still. And every time I say that, we end up saying, F it. And we do what we want, but we have to. We have, like I said before, we have a lot of things in the works, and I'm afraid that if we don't stick to a terrestrial format, meaning F-bombs, we gotta try to stay away from F-bombs and N-words. It's Tony, no more N-words.
Oh.
And no 3-letter F-words from Andrew. We don't want none of that. None of that stuff.
3-letter F-words?
So we need to make sure we kind of stay somewhat clean. Believe me, we still, if you guys listen. It
feels like an alcoholic because it's like we have to do it. We have to stay away from it. So a lot of people look at us like, right, sure. Yeah. You'll just go back to it.
Yeah.
So an hour of us being wussies?
Yeah, I guess so. Look, he's already substituting the P for the W. Look at Tony on top of
learning.
Things. He is learning. He's come a long way. Long way. I remember when we were doing the terrestrial show, though, for KROP, people would say, like, man, Tony is silent. And then when we go uncensored, like, okay, he's alive.
Yeah, it's because he couldn't say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got 50 minutes, so I guess about an hour. So let's knock on wood and hope that
you can make it.
Hope that the evil spirits don't come out of me.
Now, that doesn't mean we're just doing a 1-hour show and that's it. We'll do another hour after this. We'll take a small break. We'll come in. The uncensored feed will take over.
Oh, thank God.
And then we'll... And then Tony can participate in the show.
The Tony Hour.
Yeah. So we're going to do about 2 hours roughly, but after we'll have a definitive break, a definitive end to this show, and then we'll go to some music, maybe a couple promos, and then we'll come back and we'll do the uncensored show. Now, today we're celebrating lots of things. I know the world is doom and gloom, but we're going to celebrate. We have officially, because we're internet freaks here, we have crossed 10,000 likes on Facebook, which that's a big, that's a big thing.
That's pretty big.
That's a big thing. I mean, I know there's legitimate radio stations that don't even have
half
7,000. I know. So the fact that we have 10,000 means that we're important now.
We're doing something right.
We're important. 10,000 means we're important. 5,000 means we're okay. 10,000 means we're important. Is that how it works?
That's how we judge our
what does
self-worth.
15,000 mean?
I judge, my self-esteem is based on solely of how many likes we get.
Twitter followers and likes.
Yeah.
That's so many people are these days, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's the sad truth.
No, listen, I have a good day when I get more than 40 likes on Instagram for a post, and I have a bad day if I only get 5.
Oh, God.
Yeah. This is probably why those chicks put together, like, sex tapes.
Just to get likes.
Well, yeah, because like, oh, I don't feel very good about myself today, so I guess I'm going to do another sex tape with Ray J and post that.
It's a self-esteem bump.
Oh, totally. Imagine posting like a nude photo of yourself and all the women love it. It would give you a self-esteem bump.
It would.
Yeah.
It would.
If guys could get away with it, they would do it. I mean,
right.
Guys post D-pics all the time. They do. And usually women are like, oh, that's disgusting. That's gross. It doesn't work for men like it works for women. It never does.
Not in the same way. You can make things work, but it can't be the exact same thing.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, that's a pretty big milestone.
Yeah. Getting back to the world events, not only did we have the Orlando shooting, which we'll get into that, I think we have to. Yeah. I kind of want to stay away from it, because we only have an hour on the terrestrial format. But also, it's been like
overkill.
It's been an overkill all over the place, and I'm like, you know what? I typically like this show to be kind of escapism, but I also think it'd be remiss of us not to touch on it a bit. I'm sure we all have some thoughts and opinions on it, so we'll get into that. But also, in great and better news, Bernie Sanders is no longer in the running for presidential.
Is he not?
Presidential nominee? No, it's I mean, he's not giving up.
I think he still is, but the numbers say he's not.
Everybody's saying it's Hillary Clinton. Everyone's saying it's Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. She has clinched. Countless articles have come out saying there's absolutely no way Bernie Sanders can come back.
For the record, Bernie says he will fight until the convention.
Wait, he's going to fight until what?
Until the convention.
That guy needs to let it go.
No, I admire that.
No.
He's so annoying.
It's not about him. It's that fighting spirit, that American way. It's not over until it's over.
Let him go. Now, if he was part of a third party, I'd be like, yes, fight. He's just fighting. Hold on. He's fighting for the same party as Hillary.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes down to it, he's going to get into that office and he's going to play Democratic ball,
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Look at Hillary and Obama.
Yeah. I mean, they had lots of opposing views, and yet now Obama is giving her his
credential backing.
His backing, because she's going to play the ball that needs to be played when you're in the White House.
And doesn't that just scream something about politics, though? Like when they were enemies,
entirely corrupt.
Oh, that stupid bitch doesn't know anything. And then now that he needs to back somebody, he's like, you know what? I agree with her in a lot of ways, and it's changed over the course of. It's not like their entire viewpoint has changed in 8 years.
Hillary's has changed in the last week.
Well, okay, no, but they haven't actually fundamentally changed. There's no way that they either truly believed each other was villainous 8 years ago, or that they're on the same wavelength now. And that's just like Mike said. It's all about the party politics. They're going to play ball no matter what.
My issue with it is that there's Bernie's not going to win, so vote for Hillary.
Yeah,
and that whole mentality really frustrates the crap out of me.
The sticking with party lines thing?
Yeah, because
like no matter, even if you don't agree with what Hillary's saying, hey, she's still part of the same party,
so you should vote for her.
Vote for
and
her.
She's not
that's
Trump.
Complete horror. There is nobody that's gonna, if you like Bernie and he's out, guess what? There's nobody that's like him. There isn't.
Gary Johnson, independent nominee.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that Bernie is out of the running. Technically,
not
why?
Because
running.
He's out of the running, Andrew. Since when did you become a Bernie lover?
Oh, come on.
Are you serious? You're just deciding
Look
this?
at him.
Are you kidding me?
Listen, Andrew, you've been agreeing with us about Bernie Sanders being a since the very beginning.
That is absolutely
that's going to be censored later. I don't know. I just don't like him. I mean, come on. If he became president, he'd probably find a way to break up our 10,000 Facebook likes.
Socialism.
Excuse me. I notice here that you have 10,000 likes on Facebook. And the other radio station over here only has 2,000. Now, I know you guys worked your ass off to get where you need to be with the 10,000 likes, but let's be honest here, it's just not fair. It's not fair. And I'm going to have to go ahead and do an executive decision and go ahead and break up your 10,000 likes. Just break them up, but not right down the middle. Not in, three. I'm not very good at math, so 3/4. I'm just going to break it into fifths. Is that even possible? And I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to space them out with all the other radio stations who don't work as hard as you, who have 2,000, maybe 3,000 likes, and that way it's fair. And then once you work yourself up again and get to 20,000 likes, I'm going to go ahead and, the humane guy I am, and I'm going to break it up again just so it's fair. Spread the wealth. Yes, that's what I'm going to do.
The creepy little laugh.
Because I was okay.
Are you having sex over there, or
Yes.
frustration?
I'm jerking it to the political circle jerk.
Oh.
No, Bernie has not dropped from the race. Some of his platforms I don't necessarily agree with, specifically with his free education thing, because there's no such thing as monetarily free anything.
Right. Okay,
but
continue. You have 15 seconds to finish your
Gary
point.
Johnson takes all of. Now I'm just all over the party.
No, go ahead.
Gary Johnson has taken all of what Bernie is trying to do, and he's consolidated it. But
I can't.
he doesn't have the backing that Bernie did, and it's kind of like a lot. Gary Johnson is the Bernie that
We're going to the vortex.
We look at Bernie and we idolize Bernie, and we think Bernie's doing these things, but Gary Johnson is actually
The
doing
sad
these
thing
things.
is, guys, is I can't even get out of the vortex. I am now stuck in the vortex.
Oh God, he got Mike's soul.
I'm in the Andrew vortex.
You're
I can't
in
get
here
out.
with me.
Why is it so cavernous?
The vortex is large and hollow,
Yep.
dark, dank,
Kind of smells a bit.
sweaty.
Like Andrew.
Oh,
Tony, you have to pull me out of the vortex so I can continue.
put your
the show.
glove on.
Can you please help me get out of the vortex?
Can I wait until the uncensored show?
I guess I'll be continuing to do the whole entire show in the vortex.
No, I'll be a good neighbor.
Let me climb my way out. Hold on a second. Give me a few seconds.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
All right, I'm going to climb
Give me
out.
your hand.
Hold on, I'm climbing out. I'm climbing
Okay.
out.
See my hand?
There's Minoc in here.
See my hand? It's not a Minoc.
This is no cave. All right, I'm out.
Okay, good.
Gary Johnson, 2016.
Oh, for God's sake.
Hey, you know what?
Wow.
I can agree with that. I'm not saying I vote for Gary Johnson, the Libertarian candidate, but you know what? He makes a lot more sense than a lot of these other people. They're right. The thing about libertarians is, again, I'm not a big advocate of them, but for the most part, I find myself siding with them because it's right up the middle.
Yeah.
It's not about the left. It's not about the right. It's about common sense most of the time. Now, there are some things, the bit of the gun stuff kind of gets me. So anyways, I was, I don't want to be that parent as I was talking about in hockey the other day.
Okay, what'd you do now?
Well, okay. I know this is an odd segue, but okay. So I go to the hockey practice with my kid and I find myself getting frustrated to the point where I start making fun of the other kids now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I never knew this about myself because, the other day I called my kid a little effer.
Okay.
Not to him. I said under my breath because he messed up in hockey. And then I realized, oh crap, this is my kid. I forgot who I was watching. So I felt really bad. Now I've turned my anger towards making fun of other kids. And this one kid is just kind of annoying. He's a little Asian kid. Sorry, Tony. He's a little Asian kid, and he looks exactly like Short Round
Oh, God.
from Indiana Jones. And he even has the stereotypical voice.
Okay.
I mean, and he comes in and he teases my son, too. Maybe that's why I'm making fun of him. He's all
Probably.
like, and my son didn't get a new jersey yet for the new league they're in. So this little Asian guy comes out and says, he's a, ha, 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 you don't got a new jersey. You don't got a new jersey like me. Ha, ha, ha. And he takes off running. He comes back. He's all like, Ashton, you don't got a new jersey. Ah! And takes off running. He sounds like an anime character.
Sounds like Salacious Crow.
Good gravy.
He sounds like an anime character. The stereotypical anime characters in
That's what they're like when they're young.
Oh, God.
Is that what your nephew sounded like? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah. Most of them.
All I remember is that your nephew used to walk around naked around the house when I used to go there. I'm like, this is odd. All of them were naked. When I used to go visit Tony, you would have the little nephew. Hey, ha! I'm David's nephew. And he'd be wearing whitey-tighties at 4, which is fine.
Yeah.
And that's what you're supposed to do.
And here comes David, his whitey-tighties.
Here comes Dave, naked, well, almost naked, in whitey-tighties as well. Hey, Mike, let me go get dressed. I'm like, dude, get dressed before you answer the door.
Jesus.
And then his nephew's like, get dressed, Uncle Tony. I can see your pee-pee. And then David goes running.
We're just setting up for the next sumo match,
Oh, God. That's what you call it?
Yeah.
Yeah. One time we were doing film work, getting ready for a film assignment back in film school days, and he was actually naked with his underwear. When I say naked, he's wearing underwear.
Okay, so you mean like close to?
Yeah, wearing whitey-tighties while he's constructing like a blood splatter kid.
So he won't get messy.
Jesus Christ.
He's all bending down. Like, come on, David, go get dressed.
A grown man in his whitey tighties bent over dealing with blood is something from like the worst horror movies of all time.
Yeah.
And you just saw this on a Thursday.
It was. I felt like I was watching Godzilla.
If we were white, you'd probably say you're in a trailer park. Come on.
You know what?
Probably.
But you guys aren't Filipino trash. Simmer down. Don't make fun of your own family. Oh my God. So, all right. So this Orlando shooting, there's one thing I thought was annoying about it. Obviously, it's a terrible thing. I think that goes without saying.
Right.
But I find myself getting annoyed with the people who need attention, who make it about themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Who make it about themselves. And I'm like, this isn't about you. This is about the victims and the community that's affected. And then you have people who, Facebook, in their brilliance, manages to come up with an idea to mark yourself safe if you live in the area. Okay?
Mark yourself
Well, they
safe.
know where you live, and a little icon pops up saying if you live within the Orlando region, you can mark yourself safe, and it tags you, and you let your family know on Facebook that you're safe.
That's not cool.
That you're guys, I'm safe. Okay?
That's how they track people.
Yeah. Listen... Don't get into that stuff because that's the first thing I thought about.
Yeah.
I'm like, congrats. You just told everybody where you're at, where you live.
You've told
Sweet.
everyone where you're at and that you're not expecting danger now.
Yeah.
Well, even more so, that what bothers me the most is that this was a button that they just flipped on.
Yeah. Just like
Wait,
that.
What?
It was almost instantaneous when it popped up. Like the Orlando shooting happened. Facebook had this marked setting immediately.
Oh,
yeah.
That's messed up.
So they had it set up immediately. And again, I can see the benefits of it for...
In a perfect world where bad people don't exist and won't abuse it.
Well, for the example, for example, the people didn't know, I think up to like just a few hours ago, there were still people trying to contact their loved ones and they weren't sure if they were alive or not because of the shooting.
Right.
So I could see where the Facebook notification would work. Okay. If you were in the club that night or the surrounding area, if you were downtown partying it up and you were in the area, then I get it. But if you're a Christian, okay, and everybody knows you're a religious zealot who doesn't condone gay marriage in general, okay, we don't need you.
You don't need us to let you know.
Guess what? I'll give you an example, okay? My brother's wife did it. My little brother's wife said, I'm safe. And I'm like, because they live in Orlando. I'm like, listen, there wasn't even a part of me or any of your friends that thought you were in a gay club for a second.
Yeah.
So I text my little brother and I said, hey, dude.
Are you safe?
Yeah. I text my brother. I said, hey, man, are you okay from the shooting? And he's all like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, okay, I just was wondering because your wife marked you guys as safe on Facebook saying you weren't at the gay club Pulse.
Good to know.
And he waited 5 minutes. He's all like, why would I be at a gay club? And there's my point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but it brings me back to people, and it wasn't just her. There was a lot of people that do it for the attention.
Yeah, it's not about
you and say, guys, I'm safe. Oh God, thank you. It's about the people in that club. If there was a risk that you were down in that area, then fine, do it. But you get those people who want to be a part of something. They want to get swept up in the hoopla, and they want the attention, the spotlight to be on them.
Yeah.
You were in California. I just slipped. You were in effing California at the time. Guess what? Don't mark your safe. We know you are across the states. You're across the nation on the other side. Don't mark yourself safe. Thank you. I would like Facebook to mark these idiots instead. Like put a bounty on them for the morons that do it for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Facebook should actually put anybody that supports ISIS. I think Facebook should mark them as assholes.
Jesus, why don't we mark that
Instead of marking yourself safe in Orlando, how about Facebook, you start marking ISIS sympathizers?
Don't go nowhere. The Rain Man Show will be right back.
Have you ever wanted something so bad that you do just about anything for it? Well, that's exactly how we feel about you. That's right. AdamandEve.com wants you so bad. We're giving you 10 free gifts with your first order. You heard me right. That's 10 free gifts to spice up your love life. First, you'll get a sexy surprise for her. Second, an adventurous toy for him. And third, a little something we know you'll both enjoy. Plus, you'll get 6 full-length adult movies on DVD. And number 10, free shipping on your entire order. That's 10 free gifts for you shy types who've never tried Adam and Eve before. Just go to adamandeve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy, a sexy piece of lingerie, or anything you desire. Just enter offer code DEAL30 at checkout and you'll get all 10 free gifts, including free shipping. That's offer code DEAL30. That's DEAL30 at adamandeve.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Rain Man Show on Rain Man Digital with your host, Michael Flores.
So while we were at break, Thomas, Tony brought up the gorilla thing.
Oh God,
We didn't talk about that, but the whole child falling into the gorilla. What is it? Housing? What do you want to call it?
Cage thing.
Cage at the zoo in what was it? Not Chicago, Cincinnati, right?
I think so.
Why aren't people marking themselves safe for that? See, that would have been interesting. Like, hey guys, just let everybody know I'm safe.
Was not attacked by gorilla.
I did not fall in the cage with that child. I'm safe. Just let you guys know. I was in Arizona, but let you guys know I was safe.
In my case, I would have said I did not grab the child.
Marked safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really get into it, but yeah, I mean, Facebook, instead of doing things like that, they should do stuff like marking people who are ISIS sympathizers, marking known pedophiles on Facebook. Mark that.
Like a setting where you can't get rid of something on your profile picture for some heinous crime.
Yeah, mark
maybe,
that.
But again, that's a lot of just lists and stuff, and that's weird.
Yeah, listen, freedom of speech is overrated. Listen, if I was the president, I'd be getting these ISIS sympathizers out ASAP. Yeah. ASAP. Listen, if you sympathize with ISIS, guess what? You don't belong in the country. Now, I'm not talking about Muslims. We're a country built on immigrants, and I will always believe in that. But you come here to look for something better. You come here. That's what the United States dream. That's what the American dream is. If you come from Mexico, if you come from Ireland, if you come from the Middle East, you come here for a better life. You don't come here to bring over your archaic line of thinking. Yes, religious freedom is great. But guess what? If you follow Sharia law, stay the hell in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And why aren't the modern feminists opposed to this? Because Sharia law is about holding a woman down, among other things. They circumcise women. They brutally dishonor kill their wives, and it ain't no thing.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
If you sympathize with ISIS, you shouldn't be in this country. You shouldn't be allowed to be in this country. We should deport you immediately. There's no reason. ISIS is now a sovereign entity.
Yeah.
Okay, for the most part. Okay?
Sad as that is.
We are at war. We are. Now, even if these people aren't alleged ISIS members, they're lone wolves, as they like to call them, they're still pledging their allegiance to this foreign government. There's something that we call treason. That's also, if you pledge allegiance to another government, guess what that's called? Treason. Called treason. We never have allowed Russian spies in the 80s to be in this country. We don't allow foreign soldiers to step foot on this country. Why are we allowing people who sympathize with ISIS in this country? Deport them.
Yeah.
Let's save us all the problems.
And the hassle.
If you sympathize with forget ISIS for a moment, with anybody that's intent on doing harm to the American way of life and American citizens, whether you be straight, gay, bisexual, I don't care. We're all human. If you are intent on hurting people and you're pledging allegiance to another sovereign government, guess what? Deport them immediately. They have no right to be in this country. We would never imagine if the Russian army decided to set foot on here.
Oh, yeah.
And assassinate American citizens. Would we even stand for that?
No.
This is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
The moment this guy called 911 and said what he was going to do, he should have been put on an airplane and sent back to the Middle East. Like, hey, listen, we know you're an American citizen. But obviously you love the ISIS way of life so much, we're going to go ahead and send you to the Middle East where you could just hang out for 6 months. You're now banned, not life. We'll take into account that you're an American citizen, but for 6 months, we're not going to put you in jail. We're just going to put you for 6 months in the Middle East, live with your ISIS brothers, and in 6 months, we'll revisit this and we'll conduct an interview, like an exit interview, and say, dear
Omar, with your time?
Dear Omar Mateen, whatever his name was, do you still want to kill the gays? Oh, the answer is yes. Okay, we'll see you in 6 months. Come back 6 months later, like, hey, Omar, how you liking it living in a third world country without cable, without, decent clothes, without the amenities that the American lifestyle gives you? Hey, how you doing out here, Omar? Pretty good? Okay. Do you still want to kill the gays? Yeah. Okay. We'll see you in 12 months. I'm not saying it's a lifetime ban.
I think you should.
Well, I'm trying to be diplomatic here.
Yeah. 3 strikes you're out.
There's a point where diplomacy isn't going to do anything.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but
I'm just trying to be fair. That's
There's
all.
a line in the sand, Mike.
Yeah.
I think fairness is overrated at this point.
Yeah.
True.
Exactly.
We just need to get rid of them. And this goes for this comes back to the gun laws that need to change. We're getting serious here. Gun laws do need to change. But here's my proposal, okay? I'm not on the side of the left where they're like, oh, get rid of guns. Get rid of guns. That's their first knee-jerk reaction. And, I know
that'll work.
I get it. Like, people, the quick, easy response is, oh, wow, this is terrible. We need to get rid of guns.
Right.
Okay, I get the knee-jerk reaction. But in the grand scheme of things, that's not going to solve the problem.
Yeah, I got 2 examples. The 2 extremes I got at work. One person went down the whole, like, nobody needs guns, nobody should have guns. And I'm like, that's not realistic for this country. Maybe for other countries. But it won't work here. We're too founded on violence in many ways. And then I had somebody else say, when it happened, had everybody in the club had a gun. And I'm like, I don't think that's how that works. Because nobody goes to a club dancing and grinding against anything, and they're, oh, is that you or a handgun?
That's a problem. That's a problem waiting to happen.
But nobody's going there to relax while also packing heat with a trained sense of awareness in case danger kicks in.
Thomas, that was actually my idea. I'm Donald Trump here. That was actually my idea. I think that in order to stop that Orlando shooting, think about this, guys. If everybody, as they walked into the club, they didn't get a pat down, and we don't ask any questions, we'll turn a blind eye, and everyone's just packing heat. And that way, that will definitely ensure that nobody gets killed. Imagine everybody drunk off their ass, getting jealous, and we're all carrying guns. It'll be like the Wild Wild West. No one ever died in the Wild Wild West.
That's such a great idea.
It's a great idea, right? Yeah. Vote for me, 2016.
If everyone had a gun, what you'd end up is the ending scene of Reservoir Dogs. Seriously, if that was the case, and I sort of see it, Thomas, but what you end up having is a classic standoff scene
the hateful
in Reservoir Dogs
in real life.
And Mr. White will be like the last one standing for
just
a short
guns
time.
Firing off and be terrible.
A Mexican standoff.
Yeah.
In a club.
That would be awesome.
With Puerto Ricans.
So stupid. All right,
but the 2 extremes do not help anybody.
It doesn't. And that's what everybody does. They go for the extremes. And the gun laws do need to change, but this is what I propose. Okay? But no one's going to come up with a decent idea like this. Whoever's the first president or presidential nominee comes up with this idea, I will immediately vote for them. Okay? But we need to treat certain individuals much like we treat people who get DUIs.
Yeah.
If you have been caught on, and I'm not talking about surveillance, I'm just talking about run of the mill. If you were heard on social media, you have a Facebook post, Twitter post, or even in a conversation that was heard and was reported to HR. If it was heard that you were saying, I think all gays should be killed, whether you're a KKK member from the South or you're ISIS. It doesn't matter who you are. If you hate speak, you're now on a list for 6 months. And you cannot buy a gun for 6 months. In 6 months, we'll revisit your social media feeds that are public. We'll interview you and say, hey, so let's talk before we allow you to buy this gun here. Has your ideology changed at all? Let us know. let's talk a little bit and figure this out. And if it hasn't, and if you do your investigation and you realize this guy's still an ISIS sympathizer or he's talking about killing the blacks because he's a KKK member, guess what? You're banned for 6 months and you lose that right. And some people may say, wait a second, an American should never lose their right to buy a gun ever. Listen, you lose your right to drive
all the time
when you drive drunk because you're irresponsible. If you're irresponsible, you lose your right to drive because you're driving dangerously under the influence, right?
Right.
You lose your driver's license up to 12 months and you go to jail here in Arizona for 6 months.
Yeah.
On your first
offense.
6 months in jail and you lose your license for a year.
Hey,
Hold on. Okay. So then what we should do is the exact same thing. Let's not restrict guns. Let's not start banning guns. Every American who's responsible can buy a gun. But if you are on the internet popping off at the mouth, talking about killing people, wasting individuals.
If only I had a gun kind of thing.
Or just if you're an ISIS sympathizer. If you are affiliated with some group that is radicalized and has recently threatened the life of individuals, you are now on a suspension for 6 months.
Yeah.
And will revisit, much like they revisit your license being reinstated when you have a DUI. I would be okay with that. I would co-sign. Who in this room would not co-sign with that?
I don't see why not.
I don't see why not.
Doesn't it make sense? Nobody loses their American freedoms, but you're on suspension because you're dangerous, just like when you drive drunk.
Yeah.
So
surprisingly cool-headed.
Go ahead, Andrew.
I have a problem with so many aspects of that. First and foremost, what you're describing is mass data mining. It's mass.
No, I'm not. I said I started it by saying I'm not talking about surveillance. Okay, it's no different than a
what
police.
They do now.
It's no different. Exactly. If you are reported by someone saying, okay, for example, the guy called 911 himself, Omar,
declared
and said what he's going to do, and nothing happened.
Yep. That's pathetic.
He was on the FBI list in 2013. He was already being investigated,
and nothing
happened. At that point, that's not data mining. Okay, that is doing your due diligence as a government peace officer, maintaining the peace. I'm not talking about mass surveillance. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm talking about holding people responsible if they're going to carry a weapon, which they should. I'm not talking about taking away rights. I'm not talking about a blanket ban. I'm talking about Omar losing his right to brandish a weapon because of his hate speech. It's no different when you get out of jail. You're a felon and you lose your God-given American rights until you can prove that you're living within the bounds of the law. How long is that? You lose certain American rights as a felon, even when you get out of jail?
Depends on probation.
So it's no different than that. There needs to be protection. Go ahead, Andrew.
The protection is already in place. I mean,
in what regard?
It's not proactive, but which is what you're arguing for. But we have the systems in place to do everything that you're saying, but nothing is happening now.
That's the problem.
Right, but even if we went to a proactive sort of a thing, there would be so many false positives, it wouldn't be funny. And then it would be a situation where the TSA would apply to gun control.
First, the problem though is Mike's thing is like if you're this blatant and obvious, then you won't be on a goddamn list.
Exactly.
That's my point.
And your whole thing about like not data mining.
I'm not talking about me getting on the microphone saying I'm going to go, I'm going to murder those little kids in hockey because they pissed me off. Like that's different. It's obviously there's satire to that. I'm not talking about that. There needs to be a guideline. But if you're an obvious threat,
if you're on a FBI watch list,
you lose your rights for a few months, not forever, because again, that would be going against the American way of life. I get that. I'm saying there needs to be repercussions.
And at the same time, if you don't think that all the stuff you ever do on your phone isn't data mined, you're out of your mind.
Oh, absolutely.
There's reasons why it tells me that work is 15 minutes away.
And I'm not talking about some Southerner saying, God damn it, I hate that black guy. He can still hate black guys and he can say it. But if he says social media blatantly, I'm talking blatantly says, and it was reported to 911, and he says, I'm going to go kill some black people tonight because I'm effing pissed. They stole my chick. Guess what, dude? You threaten someone on social media, you're now going to be watched.
I mean, you've had other shooters that put on their videos on YouTube before it happened.
You already have police officers scanning social media already as it is.
You have shooters live streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why are they, if these are people who are being watched already by the government bodies, it makes sense that they should be watched a little more closely than they. Oh well, dropped one there. Than they were. I mean, to hear that he called 911 and they're just like, well, nothing we could do.
Yeah,
is disgusting.
That's my whole point. That type of stuff is negligence. He shouldn't have been able to buy a gun, period. And it has nothing to do with Thomas buying a gun or Tony buying a gun. It has to do with that individual, case by case. And if it's turns into, well, now you're not stereotyping. You're what's the word called?
Profiling.
You're profiling. You're looking for it. I'm like, well, you know what? If you're ISIS, I don't care if you're a white ISIS, which there are a few there. Guess what? I should say white American ISIS. Guess what? You're now banned from buying a gun for a few months. Not forever, just a few months. Because you were negligent. Because you're threatening to kill people. People get arrested for threatening.
Xbox Live will just go down.
See, again, that's different. That's a case by case. Andrew, are you ready to get into the news? I know you're all amped up over there, you Bernie Sanders lover. See, why are you voting for Bernie when you're like, no, data mining and I want guns in my asshole?
I'm voting for Gary Johnson.
Okay. That makes sense. All right. Are you ready for news?
Yeah, let's
all right, here we go.
And now it's time for news with Andrew.
It took about 6 months to get something for him, but we got it.
Oh my God, I love that. That's so good.
All right, let's not talk about how much you love it, and let's get into the news. What do we have in the news?
A furious husband takes ultimate revenge on a cheating wife by selling everything she owns on eBay.
That's a gangster.
That's
right
actually pretty good.
All right.
An angry husband is selling all of his cheating wife's belongings on the internet. The anonymous scorned lover listed piles of clothing, shoes, and even a convertible smart car on the online site eBay after claiming that his partner had run away with someone who looks like Pepe from EastEnders.
Who's that?
I have no idea.
Pepe from EastEnders. Tony, Google that.
Pepe from EastEnders.
BEPPE.
BEPP.
Beepy? Beppy?
Oh, for God's sake.
You know what? I asked Tony to look that up. Andrew, you continue with the story.
Describing the collection as a complete job, lot of possessions belonging to my cheating ex-whore of a wife.
Oh.
Uh-huh. The eBayer, who goes by the name Calibri Steve Online, said he aims to use the proceeds of the sale to commission the services of prostitutes in their marital home.
Interesting.
This is great. A bidding for the clothes reached £185 before the husband said it was taken down by the website because there was swearing in the description.
I'm trying to find this in the news. Where is this in the news?
This is the first link.
What?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah, this is the first link in the news that you put.
I could swear I saw Orlando father says gays should be
did
punished.
I mess up? All right, well.
Jesus.
It's good. It's funny.
All right.
Just what happens when you have 2 weeks off?
Just get back to the article. What does it say? Throwing me off.
I'm sorry, bus driver. In the advert for the car.
Me in the vortex again. Please help me.
In the advert for the car.
You're alone there, man.
Help me, please.
Throw down the rappel equipment.
We're almost done anyway.
What else do we have in the news?
Let's go to the actual first article.
Okay,
that
thank you.
Placed. My apologies, bus driver, sir. Orlando gunman's father posts video. God should punish homosexuals.
For God's sake.
Despite condemning his son's actions and claiming not to know what motivated him.
What God is this? Because I definitely want to worship this guy. This guy's definitely worthy of being worshipped.
He doesn't know what motivated him, followed by this video.
I don't know. Let's see what they say. The father of the Orlando shooter appears to have suggested that it is God's right to decide the consequences that gay people should face for their sexual orientation.
Jesus.
Wow.
He must know God. He must know God. I don't know.
They must be bros. The father has been a subject of intense media scrutiny ever since his son was identified as the one responsible for the terror attack on the gay nightclub.
And you should, because you raised a monster. I mean, obviously, I don't blame all parents for their kids' actions. However, This guy is on video saying God will should punish homosexuals. Guess what? His thought process has come from you piece of poo. What else does it say?
The father has insisted that his son was motivated by homophobia and not religion, despite reports that his son dedicated himself to ISIS. And he posted a new video indicating that perhaps some of the viewpoints were shared by others as well.
So it sounds like his father is defending him for being homophobic, but not for being part of ISIS.
Yeah, who knows, man. Here's this. Translator, please.
I need a glass of water.
Oh God.
It's not even in English.
They don't have a voiceover?
No. It's subtitled. Come on. Come on, Tony. What are you doing over there? Dying? Are you dying on me over there?
I am. The ISIS is struck.
All right, what else do we have in the news? Because this article is very unfulfilling. Andrew, what else do we have in the news?
China has a call to young men. Your nation needs your sperm.
Oh.
So we know where you're going?
Yep. If you're a man in China between the ages of 20 and 45, the government has a message for you. For the sake of your country, please donate your sperm.
They need more people?
Yeah. The Chinese sperm banks are China's.
Wait, don't they already limit your children?
Yeah. Not anymore.
I think there's a rumor.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They lifted that.
They lifted it, and now they want semen.
They're running out of Chinamen.
They want.
God.
All right, what else?
Good gravy.
What does it say?
China's sperm banks are facing severe shortages for a variety of political and cultural reasons. Comparatively, few Chinese men offer to donate.
They just want to splice the genes to make sure that these new breed of Chinese have bigger penises.
What if that was actually the goal? Like it's just some genetic testing.
Our goal is to. It sounds like an exploitation film from the 60s.
Right?
Our goal is to genetically splice the right penis length. No longer will we be the butt of all stereotypical jokes with Chinamen having small penises. This summer, Chinamen will have 9-inch dongs coming soon. What else do we have in the news?
Let's go ahead and touch on the shooting real quick because there's a few things that we do have to go over, and it'd be a disservice if we didn't.
Okay.
First off, a few facts.
We didn't talk about this enough?
Well, we talked about conjecture, but hardcore facts.
I don't know what conjecture is. I'm dumb. And so is my audience.
I think it's something witches do, right? They conjecture up spells.
Is it is it like conjuring? Is it like a conjure? Is it like when you conjure up something, like a conjure up a lie?
When you conjure up
I love that movie.
Or is it like when my bitch conjured up that she was going to be pregnant and she didn't have a child? It was really my dog she chopped up.
All right, so real
Go ahead
quick.
and continue conjuring over there, conjuring up news stories that I did not put in the show notes. Go ahead and conjure all you want.
A few hard facts. First off, it is 49.
Redneck Michael's now in the vortex because you keep adding shit to the show notes that weren't in there. Someone please get me out of this goddamn vortex that Andrew keeps putting me in.
Move over. I want to come on in.
There's not enough room for two.
I gotta get more setups for you guys can join me in the vortex.
Yeah.
All right. 49 were killed. As of this moment, over 20 are in.
God damn it, he doesn't take a hint.
Yeah. All right, fine.
The hint is we talked about it already.
Let's go to Trump. Do you want to go to Trump? Let's go to Trump.
I don't know what your girlfriend sees in me. We were at the Comic-Con, okay? And I was looking at her, and she's actually attractive.
I know!
Like I was like, she's pretty.
That makes him mad. Apparently.
She has pretty features, and I'm like, what the hell happened? She must have had a like.
He conjectured something up.
This is what happens, Andrew, when you try to take over the bus.
Let's go to Trump. Shall we?
All right.
Trump tells CNN that club goers should have been armed. We did touch on this earlier.
Where are you at now in the show notes?
Right.
I see
where you're at.
I see Chinamen need semen.
This bit right here that nobody can see.
Okay, there we go.
That bit. Do you want to go to that bit or you want to go to the next bit?
I want you to go in order, Andrew.
I was in order.
Half the show is fun for me just because of this.
I want to shoot myself.
In the vortex?
Too soon.
Please continue, Andrew.
Donald Trump said that if more people at the Orlando nightclub had been armed, there would have been far fewer dead.
Okay, so maybe my coworker was quoting Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Right. That's a Reservoir Dog scene.
Speaking to CNN's Alison Camerota Monday morning, Trump said, if you had some guns in the nightclub that this took place, if you had guns on the other side, you wouldn't have had the tragedy that you had. If people in the room had guns and the bullets flying in the opposite direction right at them, Camerota interrupted, but there was an armed security guard and more. Trump continued, right, but at his head, you wouldn't have had the same tragedy you ended up having. And he goes on to just echo what his remarks on what he said at the Paris Concert Hall last November. You can say what you want, but if they had guns, if our people had guns, if they were allowed to carry,
Jesus Christ.
Trump said, it would have been a much different situation.
Go ahead.
That's the end of the article. Should we go into what else is in the news?
This is actually, I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur, if you guys know this. This is Donald Trump, in case you don't know. Now, I'm an entrepreneur. I do businesses, and my businesses do good. They usually do good. I mean, I've had a few, rotten eggs, but look it up. I usually do a good job. Now, imagine this. Imagine a club. Okay, imagine the club. Hot bitches walking around. And when I say hot bitches, I mean my wife and my daughter. Okay, imagine them walking into a club looking hot. My daughter wears a really nice thong, usually pink. Now, she lets me pick them out for her. I put them on the bed and she puts them on. I'm saying, yeah, honey, that'll be hot. Now, imagine we're walking into this club, right? You heard of Club Med? Well, this is Club Trump. You walk in and there's just bitches dancing with guns. We all have guns. We all party. It's a safe environment. Yes, there's alcohol involved. That's okay. There's alcohol involved. But guess you have a gun and one yahoo decides to pull out that gun. Guess what? The other yahoo can pull out a gun and defend themselves. And guess what? Nobody dies. I mean, at the very least, maybe 2-3 people get clipped, and shot, fall down dead. But guess what? It prevents a monster like Omar Mateen coming in there. And by the way, I love Muslims. Muslims are great people. I love them. They're great people. I just think they should be dog tagged. So I'm just saying, I love them, but I think they should be dog tagged. And they don't get guns. If they come to the club, Club Trump, you have to check it in. Think of me as Wyatt. You know how you have to turn in your gun? You have to turn in your gun before you walk into town. Well, if you're Muslim, you turn your gun before you walk into Club Trump. Okay? And no harm, no foul. We're all safe. Imagine.
Did someone just get shot in the background?
That's because some yahoo pulled out a gun, but he defended himself because another yahoo pulled out a gun and he defended himself as well. So it's no harm, no foul. Worst case scenario, a guy gets clipped, right?
I think a couple of people are dead right now in the background.
Hold on. What we're going to go... Oh, Jesus Christ. What we're going to do is... I'm losing it here. What we're going to do is we're just going to turn the music up louder, and that way we drown out the guns. You can't hear it. Watch, we'll test it out right now. No, we're good. We're good. Club Trump.
All right, what else do we have in the news?
Oh, good gravy. Well, I guess there's a theme with the
Are you an infant?
Bit. Yes.
Why do you say good gravy? Do you all say golly gee and
do you want this is the censored show?
Oh,
this is the censored show.
Oh, good gravy, Miss Molly. What was it?
Oh, hey, be sure to watch your language. This is
it's good golly, Miss Molly.
Yeah, good golly, Miss Molly. You're a child. All right, what else does the news say?
Another ISIS bit here. A chilling warning from an ISIS killer on a Facebook live stream sent straight from his murdered victim's home.
Whoa.
A 25-year-old ISIS sympathizer repeatedly stabbed Jean-Baptiste Salvang after following home before forcing his way into his house.
This was on Facebook Live?
This was on Facebook Live.
How many viewers did he have?
I don't
If he had more than us, I quit.
Terrible.
Go ahead.
He broke and forced his way into the house to murder his wife Jessica in front of their 3-year-old son.
Oh.
The killer then put the sickening images of the killing on Facebook Live, along with footage of himself saying, "We are keeping together the surprise for the Euros, but I won't say anything anymore. We will come and find you the way I found the policeman at his house."
Jesus.
The killer was shot dead screaming Allah Akbar by police officers who stormed the house in Margnanville near Paris and saved the 3-year-old.
Good Lord.
The killer, age 25.
Well, if the 3-year-old had a gun, he would have defended himself. I mean, fair point. 3-year-old, teach him how to shoot. He's good.
3-year-olds kill more people than dogs
Could
do.
have saved his family.
Go ahead.
The killer, age 25, knifed 42-year-old Jean-Baptiste 9 times outside his home on Monday evening before forcing his way inside and cutting the 36-year-old Jessica's throat.
Oh.
He telephoned police to pledge allegiance to ISIS as well as the Orlando shooter did.
Yeah, this guy might sound like Trump for a moment, but you know what? This guy shouldn't live in this country. I side with Trump on this type of thing. If you are pledging allegiance, as I said earlier in the show, if you're pledging allegiance to ISIS, get out of the country.
Well, they want to be here to do this.
For the record, this is in Paris.
Deport them. Get them out. Oh, it's in Paris?
This is,
okay. Yeah, deport them as well. Put them all in the Middle East. Seriously. Put them in the Middle East. Where isn't that isn't that Mecca?
Yeah, but the whole thing is that they're coming here to attack us and destroy our way of life.
And then that's why we just deport them. As soon as we know that you're affiliated with ISIS, get them out of the countries. Put them back in the Middle East. Just like we do when we have dangerous bears in the mountains and they're killing people. You know, you have dangerous...
It's the equivalent to a bear attack. I shouldn't laugh, but that's fine.
Just like when you have a bear attack, killing innocent people, kills people because he's looking for that lunch. Look it. I have to believe ISIS are just a bunch of numbskulls, okay? And just pick them up, put them in an airplane, carefully transport them back to the Middle East.
Or just put them in an airplane, drop them from the sky with no parachute, and leave it at that.
Put it into the no-fly zone over Russia, and hopefully they accidentally get shot down, right? No harm, no foul?
Just ocean from, the Mile High Club height.
No. All right, we need to close out today's show. This is just the terrestrial show. We're going to come back in about, maybe 5 to 10 minutes with the uncensored broadcast. Don't go nowhere because we will be right back.
Thank you for listening to The Rain Man Show with your host, Michael Flores, with hosts Tony Sabal and Thomas Cowley, Andrew Spindler with the news, audio guru Dustin Lucas, produced by Michael Flores and Dustin Lucas. The Rain Man Show is a Cazador Productions and Rain Man Digital broadcast production. For all things Rain Man, go to rainmanshow.com.